Earlier today on Fox Sports 1, Speak for Yourself, Emmanuel Acho broke down Baker Mayfield, and are the Browns too confident in the Brown signal caller?
Yes, and I'm starting to be confident that the Browns are insane. The literal definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Browns, management, how can you be confident that Baker's going to play his best ball down the stretch when you all are doing these same things over and over? You're rolling out an injured Baker Mayfield. You're asking Baker to throw the ball 20-plus times a game. You're acting as if though Baker is healthy and he's not healthy. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. So, Browns, for you all to have some sort of expectation that Baker's just going to miraculously play his best ball down the stretch is insane. It's just not going to happen. So, it's all in the numbers. Baker got injured even more so in that Cardinals game. He took that hit. Remember, Baker played 6 games prior to that. Completion percentage sitting at 67. Passing yards a game sitting at 245. Passer rating sitting at 98. Since then, completion percentage down to 56. Yards per game down to 188. Passer rating down to 80. He's clearly gotten worse as he has gotten more injured. Baker already wasn't playing great when he was healthy. But the numbers are obvious that he is now playing worse. So how can you look at a Baker Mayfield who is statistically depreciating? How can you look at a Baker Mayfield who is clearly injured? How can you look at a Baker Mayfield who is getting no better and verbalize that we expect him to get better down the stretch?
Let's bring the D-Man, Dennis Manoloff from WTAM 1100 and 106.9 FM. D-Man, with what you've seen from Baker Mayfield over the last 5 games or so, what is your confidence level in Baker Mayfield at this point for the rest of the season?
Not that big. I don't disagree with anything that Acho said. That's on point and very accurate. It's one of the reasons why I didn't understand why Baker Mayfield played against the Lions. I wish he would have rested. And, to the previous segment when we were talking about how I don't question injuries, I wonder why guys get sent out there. But I will sit there and acknowledge, okay, they have their reasons. That's the difference between me and a lot of people when it comes to injuries. But I would have thought they would have wanted Baker to rest during the Lions game. If Case Keenum can't beat the Lions, then you don't deserve to be in the playoff hunt anyway. But as far as what Acho said, yeah, he's been struggling. Baker has, because of the wing, the off wing, the left shoulder, and then also the knee and the ankle. And I don't know. Maybe the bye will provide the extra rest he needs to give him the push. The problem is the stretch run is full of pretty darn good teams that can get to the quarterback, starting with next Sunday, again, Sunday from this upcoming one, against, oh, by the way, the Baltimore Ravens. So what are you going to do differently this upcoming Baltimore game when you face the 8-man box? Because the Ravens are going to do the same thing they always do. So they're going to dare Baker to beat them. Is Baker magically going to throw for 400 yards? If he does, then where was that in Baltimore? So I do think you're potentially running into a hamster wheel situation where Stefanski digs in and won't give up the play calling, and Baker digs in and doesn't want to sit, and you just get the same kind of results.
Now, D-Man, the one thing that I will say, because I almost feel like this bye week, the bigger concern is the other injuries that he's tacked up, because you're not going to heal that torn labrum in a week. It's not going to happen. But when it comes to the knee injury and that planting foot that he had been dealing with previously, I feel like if you're able to kind of get those at least healed up and rested up, I almost feel like you're not going to, like you said, he's not going to throw for 400 yards, but at least maybe some of those deep shots that they were able to hit can free up the middle of the field for that running game as well.
Agreed. I mean, it would be hard for me to believe that Mayfield would be worse off entering this second Baltimore game than he was entering the first, given that he's going to have had a lot of rest and the ability to try to recuperate. Who knows what's happening in his body, what exactly is hurting, and how how much it's hurting. But, what I've always tried to do too is if a player is healthy enough, and that's the operative word, enough. If the player's healthy enough to play, then you judge that player on his performance. You can't sit there and go, well, what did you expect? He was hurt. Well, how can anybody possibly do anything with an injured this or an injured that? No. You go out there and play in the NFL. All bets are off, if you will. Then that's it for the injury excuses and explanations. And now it's time to judge the player on his performance.